how do you raise money for your business, or what we often call capital? Well, there's a range of different capital considerations. So depending on the amount of capital you need to raise, there's a different requirement. And number two, it's normally a different set of investors. So there is a tier of investors, or steps, as you get to greater pools of capital. Everything from friends and family, to a bank loan, to angel investors, to angel syndicates, to venture capital, right the way up to public markets. But what most people don't appreciate, at any one time, because of that range of capital, you're only ever talking to one or two investor groups at any one time. So it might well be that you're set looking at friends and family to help you, and also looking at angel investors and perhaps angel syndicates. And what you're going to be commonly looking for is what we call seed capital, maybe anything between $50,000 to $250,000. That would be a traditional starting out level of capital. Now, if you've got a complex startup or venture, and you're going to require the need to be able to go and get past the proof of concept and have funds to do that very early customer acquisition, then what might happen is you might extend that capital range up to $1 million. If you do that, you're still only talking to angel investors and angel syndicates. It's very unlikely you'll be talking to venture capitalists. What you might look at are what we call micro VCs, which are small venture capital firms focused on seed investment. But it won't be, a round in terms of American terminology of looking for a few million, or growth capital. And if you're looking for that kind of $50 to $1 million, you might look at high net worth people, you might look at friends and family, but for the most part, you're probably centered around these angel investors. So raising capital requires an understanding of who we want to talk to. Number two, the critical part of raising money, and I talk about it in my program. In fact, I take people step by step through the process, is you need to understand, how are the investors thinking? There are some basic requirements you need in your business plan. There are some basic data points that investors are going to refer to. And there are attributes the investors are looking directly at the entrepreneur to require the validation that they're right for the investment. So one of them is that they'll look to say, is this a capable entrepreneur? Can we trust our money with the entrepreneur? So what I'm saying is, number two is, to make you successful, what you want to be able to do is to be able to put your feet in the investor's shoes. That is critical. The third thing is that it's very hard to raise money, but everyone can do it. This is not a rocket science. It's something that you can practically learn. But there are some steps that are very difficult that you don't want to avoid. So the first thing is, you want to research your investors. Are they in your industry? Are they in your particular category? Have they avoided any conflicts of your area? I.e., are they already invested in something that you're already in, which might present a conflict? Do you know the investor? Do you know the name of the investor? How can you engage yourself with the investor to introduce yourself? That basic research allows you to engage with the investor and say, I know what your firm does, I know what you're invested in, we've got something that's attractive for you that we think will fit your investor group, and then you can start to position the opportunity. So the third thing is, do your research on your investors and trying to engage them. The fourth thing is to bring about an effective business plan. A business plan is nothing more than a set of data points that the investor can point to. What's the business opportunity? What's the market opportunity? Who is the team behind it? What's the product? How are you going to capture customers? What's the marketing plan? Are there risks associated with their business? And there always is. Is there a hiring plan? And what's the projection? What's the idea behind monetizing over the next 3 years? I mean, that's essentially it. There are some other data points, but you have to build a sharp business data plan. Now, once you've got that, the last step, the fifth step, is you have to have a compelling pitch. I summarize that as 3 things. 1, can you describe your opportunity in less than 30 seconds? That is a great way to crystallize what it is you're selling. It doesn't mean all the features of the product or service. It doesn't mean the vision of where you're going. It just means to perfectly explain in simple English, what is the opportunity to the customer? If you can tell them the opportunity to the customer, the investor will make the leap. The second thing in perfecting the pitch is to make sure you just really know all of the information in your business plan. If you know all the information and you know all of the types of questions that come up around the way you've produced the data, you are going to feel confident sitting in front of the investor or investors. And then the third thing, make sure you've got incredibly good third-party data. So often what investors like to do is to say, okay, you really know your data, that's wonderful, but I want to be comfortable. What does the market think? Or what are your competitors offering? What are the prices that they're offering? Or how do you know you can get this kind of return on ad spend? How do we know that it costs $50 to acquire one customer? How big is the market? What validation have you got? So third-party data sources are key. If you've got your elevator pitch, if you know your business data plan really well, and if you've got really good third-party data, you are going to be on your way to raising money.